Welcome back to Casual Gamer Oz as we move now into round 17. We're in our final 4 races here on F1 2017 Season 5 Career Mode. We're at the Circuit of the Americas in the US. We're about to do a dry qualifying, thankfully. Best qualifying here, you have to look at 11th, which we achieved back in Season 2 here on F1 2017. Of course, we got a podium back here in Season 2 on F1 2016. Let's get into this. And I like this track. Generally do okay here. So let's see if we can keep up this good form. 10 consecutive points finishes, of course. And we're going to see if we can keep that streak alive. A good qualifying would be very handy here as I lock up there and get very tight into the turn. 12 is where they want us to be on the grid. 12th, that should be, Ben, if that makes more sense by saying 12th rather than 12. And we're going to see where we can end up here at the Circuit of the Americas. Pretty decent start here as Vettel overtakes us, obligatory as he always does. Because Vettel, 2 wins clear at the top of the title race. And it's just a matter of time, very similar to last season here in the game. And he's going for his 3rd consecutive championship, which will be the most here in F1 2017 in a row. I mean, if you technically count Hamilton on F1 2016, where he won the first 2 there and the first 2 on this, so he's technically won 4 overall here on Casual Gamer Oz at least. But in the game itself, hopefully, we can be challenging this Vettel-Hamilton battle in the next season or so. Raikkonen got very close to winning the championship a couple of seasons ago, didn't he? So we'll see how that plays out. Bottas has never been in contention on this game. Rosberg and Hamilton used to battle it out all the time on F1 2016. They have no faith in Bottas for championships here on F1 2017 at least. And the McLarens even would come in fight for championships in F1 2016 after a while. So far, it's just all been Mercedes and Ferrari on this game. We're going to get just in the top 10, 9th.
Excellent lap. We're really pleased.
Our best ever qualifying here at the Circuit of the Americas. We'll take that. Alrighty. Good job there in the Toro Rosso. Thank you very much.
Here's a look at your top 3.
And it's a Vettel-Hamilton front row. Bottas 4th, Ricciardo, so they get their Red Bull places back there. 5th and 6th been a bit skewy for them throughout this season, of course, with the Williams and the Force Indians. And we get out qualified by Perez, of course we do. Alright, let's move forward. Let's get ready to race. I'm going to do that now. So obviously we know that this season we've got the most points we've ever had. Most points finishes we've ever had. Most podiums, I think we have, yes. No, equal amount of podiums in a season to Season 2 on F1 2016, that is. We got 2 wins and a 3rd that season. Season we've had 2 thirds and a win. So that's going to push us over the 1,000 point mark here, so we'll be able to put a development on the car. Oh, nearly. Oh no, the bonus comes on afterwards. So here, oh yeah, we're losing that. Our reputation, yeah, I think that must be the maximum that you can have, because they just haven't moved Red Bull and Renault unless they're just losing interest in us. So maybe that's the maximum point there, so our offers might come from Red Bull, Renault and Haas. Who knows? Anyway. Oh, it's a wet race. Oh, shizer. Alright. We had a very wet one here a couple of years ago, didn't we? A couple of seasons ago. As in full wet. So, again, we maybe want full wet. That would be nice. We'll see how that pans out. And we shall wait and see what happens. We have to go all the way back to Monaco since we haven't scored points, by the way. And only 3 rounds this year we haven't scored points. It looks like it's heavy rain too. Australia we didn't score points. Spain we didn't score points. And Monaco we didn't score points. Every other Grand Prix we scored points at this year. Even Japan. Even Japan. Can you believe we scored points in Japan just gone? Heavy rain. Okay. This shall be fun. Let's see how we can go here. Rich mode on. At least for the opening lap. This is a very important one to get across. To go into the inside. We're going to have a Haas beat us to it. Whoa! No! Alright. It's heavy rain. Well, we had that heavy rain a few seasons ago, as I said before. We're on the outside. It's not where we want to be. This is an important one to cut across on the inside. We go. Can we get the cut off there? We've got a car right to the left of us. Oh, they're clipping us there. I'm going to pull out of that one. It's a Haas. No, thank you, Haas. We don't want to go up your ass. Oh, it's very tight. We've got a side by side with the Mercedes there. It's Bottas. Can we out-drag him through this corner here? Tricky conditions, tricky conditions. I think he's going to get us. He will. It's yellow flag. There's something going on behind us. I'm not sure what it is. But we'll just be cautious through the snake section. And we've got a good start here. But I'm a bit disappointed that we couldn't quite get Bottas there. He did pull us out at the end there. And again, it's a matter of trying to hold on to this moving forward. Oh, we get a little bit steamed up there, and the wet conditions not good for our car here, it seems, because those cars are pulling away from us, and where we used to actually be really good in the full wet conditions, it seems it might be the opposite now. Ricardo right behind us. We're not going to be able to sustain this in rich mode for that much longer, I feel. See, the wet track goes through the fuel a little bit more than on a dry track, it seems. As we do close in there, though, on the Mercedes. But I think I'm going to look back at that replay and think that I could have gotten him. We obviously can take use of the flashbacks here for at least the last few races here. Whoa, and there's Hamilton going himself very wide there. Nearly takes out his teammate. And the Mercedes are struggling. At least Hamilton is. Bottas really isn't. And the Ferrari's now in a 1-2 position at the moment. Ricardo wants to get a bit racy with me there. I say no to that, Daniel. It's a circuit, of course, where he overtook me on F1 2016. I think it was on the last lap, wasn't it? And I ran myself wide and I lost second and I had to settle for third. So we're going to put that down to standard revs for the moment and save that towards the end, I feel. Just defend this 5th place at the moment. We'll be satisfied with 5th. 10th is where they want us. So the first time, I think, in Casual Gamer Oz, I think, no, they wanted us 9th in Italy, didn't they? I was about to say, for the very first time, they actually expect us to finish in the points. But I'm pretty sure Italy, if I remember, was 9th they wanted us to finish. So, yeah. We obviously started this Grand Prix 9th, didn't we? Somehow, I set the fastest first sector. Don't know how that's possible. But, okay. A lot of sliding out of the corners here. And somehow, on standard revs, I'm able to close in slightly here to the Mercedes. Interesting. Obviously, we won't have DRS in this Grand Prix, so that is a positive in defending and negative in offending. It's in offense, not just being rude and offending people. Well, we can do that if you really want us to. Both of our viewers, I wouldn't dare offend you, Shedmeister. You've stuck with us through thick and thin if you've watching this and you're doing this in order, of course. Props to you. As we well slide out of there. So close to spinning. Oh, struggling through these conditions here. Mercedes able to get a real leap on us through that section. Don't think we're going to be able to catch Bottas, sadly enough. But again, I'll gladly take 5th. And I'm sure that will do our reputation well for the Red Bull team as we beat them again. And obviously, wanting to close in on Danny Rick in the championship, well, I'm ahead of him. And I'll be ahead of Perez, of course, too. So I think we've lost that rivalry, though, sadly, with Perez. As we obviously fall out to him a little bit in some of the qualifying. And obviously the Force Indies picked up its qualifying game. I keep saying obviously a lot there, didn't I? Obviously. Whoa, I'm getting well off there. Yep, fair enough. Warning. That was to be expected. I was well off the racing track there. Apologies for that, Mr. Steward. Or Mrs. Steward. Although, in fairness, I don't think we've ever had a female race steward. So, I'm not being sexist there, folks. I'm just living up to what we've got at the moment. Nothing against females. I'm sure they could do a great job as a race steward. We just haven't had one yet. Hopefully we will soon. as we try and push forward. That water on the camera lens is amazing, isn't it? When you pay attention to it. This is the water, of course. The water effects are fantastic on this game. Really are. And sadly, we get nice and close to Bottas in this section, but this is a part where Bottas just seems to pull away from us. Whoa, big slide there. Not able to maintain it there as we come through this real interesting little kink there. Kind of comes out of nowhere at you, and I always end up sliding out of that turn. We get into the wannabe turn 8 from Istanbul, which, like turn 8 in Istanbul, if you get it correctly, it feels great. If you don't get it correctly, it feels shit. Oh, big slide there. Final turn now. Tiny bit of a curb. A little bit there as well. Whack up to Rich Revs. We'll do a lap on Rich Revs here. 8.57 seconds. I don't know if that was to teammate or to leader. I'm going to say to the leader, because I don't think Carlos Sainz is that close, unless obviously there's a big train of cars behind us. So it looks like there's a bit of a gap between some of the cars there. Obviously, whatever happened at the start line, the chaos that we saw, that yellow flag briefly put out there. There's an L in that word, Ben. Be careful when you say that word. That you cause a bit of a concertina effect behind us. And again, not sure exactly what happened. If I remember in the replay, we'll take a bit of a look at that. But anyway, somebody's taken the lead. I don't know if that was Raikkonen or Vettel. Somebody's just taken the lead here in the Grand Prix. It's a battle between the Ferraris, of course, and this is really bad for Lewis Hamilton with 3 rounds to go. If he falls back behind by 3 wins, he's out of it. And of course, I think he did that last season, didn't he? Definitely knew he wasn't in contention at one point in the final few rounds. I'd like to have a dry Mexico and have a dry, undamaged Mexico. I feel it's been a while since I've had a dry, undamaged Mexico without a damaged front wing. Last few races there, I feel like I've done well. Of course, our last retirement came in Mexico in our 100th Grand Prix here in Casual Gamer. It was 2 seasons ago. So if we make it through Mexico and this race, we would have gone 2 full seasons without a retirement, believe it or not. I know you're screaming at the screen now, but you flashbacked in Britain. I understand, but I still don't count it. Alright. Back to standard revs. We've done a lap in rich mode. It really hasn't done anything to us. Alright, we've got one more lap to survive in 6th place. 5th place. And a nice healthy boost of points. That's 10 points, isn't it, for 5th, I believe. 2 more than Ricciardo, but if we want to catch him in the championship, we're going to have to, I think, win a couple of races towards the end. I don't doubt my ability to possibly win in Brazil. So we've won there previously, of course. But I think Mexico is a possibility for a sneaky little victory. Podium there, of course, in the past. In a slow Sauber. That was our very first season, wasn't it, that Sauber? That was a good race. I remember that one. But yeah. We get a good qualifying there in Mexico. And get an undamaged front wing. I think we can win that. Particularly with that long back straight. The long straight, I should say. It's not a back straight, it's the main straight. And we can find ourselves in a very handy position at that Grand Prix with the fastest car on the track. It's going to be interesting, though, if we do get to change teams. And I'm not complaining, because I want to change teams. We're not going to quite have as powerful as car. So, I wonder if that's going to maintain itself if we're racing a Toro Rosso. Because I don't really see Carlos Sainz streaming through the field, do you? I don't. So, anyway. So, we get ourselves tiptoeing here. Whoa, big slide. Big slide. We prepare ourselves here, folks. 11 consecutive points finishes this season, if you don't mind. Bring our total to 14, if I'm not mistaken. 14 out of 17 Grand Prix. That is a pretty good strike rate, if you ask me. One that I would have hoped we would have done a couple of seasons ago. And not this late into my career mode. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Slides it out of it. I'm going to get overtaken by Ricardo here on the line, am I? Oh, don't you dare, Danny Rick. Just got it. 5th. Oof. It's always a tense battle with Danny Rick in the USA. Whew. Interesting. Okay. Sorry. Just take that in. 3 rounds to go. Surely we've done enough to leave. If we've not done enough, I'm going to give up on this game. I swear to God. Let's have a look at the replay and just see what happened off the start line. To give up that Haas position, I think I could have gotten past Bottas this here. Of course, I had this little bang-bang with Bottas, didn't I? Now, just watch this here. Clip Bottas. There's going to be something happen behind here, which we're going to miss out on. I'm just going to keep an eye on this Bottas incident. And I've just lost out to him there. Now, what's happened behind? What's happened behind? Oh, whoa, there we go. A Sauber's gone off. That's a bit of a shame. Have the Saubers gotten into each other? They have! Whoa, naughty Saubers. Bugger. The crowd really don't give a shit, do they? Anyway. Vettel, Raikkonen, Hamilton, Bottas, myself, Ricciardo, Verstappen, Massa, Grosjean, and Perez. Look at that, 5 places ahead of Perez. That's what we want. Now, we're going to have a look at the standings. So I close within 22 of Danny Rick. Not as good as we want. Hamilton is officially out of championship contention, people. There we go. He cannot win this championship. And Sebastian Vettel has to outscore Kimi Raikkonen by, like, 21 points. No, 4 points. And he'll win the World Championship in Mexico, which will be the earliest I feel this game we've ever done. So, and I'm now officially a win ahead of Felipe Massa in 6th place. So that is good. And of course, the highest we've finished is 9th. So in terms of 8th, we should easily get that. We get a nice, comfortable lead over Force India 2. Ferrari have all but won that Constructors, of course. So very interesting. Let's advance our way through here. And we'll also put in that update ahead of Mexico. Well, that's a rear wing, I feel, we've got next update, isn't it? A couple of little late season upgrades onto the car, which obviously aren't really going to affect us if we're not going to stick with Toro Rosso. Which we're not. And let's see here. What are we going to get here? Well, we're over 1,000. We definitely put an upgrade on. So 108 points, 1,097. We'll get a bonus here of 18 points. Oh, lock up your daughters. That's a lot, isn't it? Now, a rivalry here. 1 point, 2 points. Oh, we just cut out in the video halfway through that one. So if there's a little bit of a jump there, that you know why. And welcome back. We're having a few little troubles with our video recording. And hopefully we're locked in here, because we're right at the end of our video, so I don't know why it was cutting itself out. But we got a few points there, 4-2, but we're still 2 away. We've caught up to him a little bit. Now, okay, I can go up more. So, Red Bull, Renault, Haas. We've dropped to Ferrari. We finished 5th, but they're obviously like, we wanted you to finish higher than that. So, okay, it looks like it's going to be a Red Bull, Renault, Haas battle to get our services next year. Bye-bye, Ferrari. And our point score there, not bad. Alright, so let's just whack this update on before Mexico. And we are... Oh, Haas has overtaken us again. That's interesting. See, it's a tight little battle. So we're going to go aerodynamics. And what's this? So we've got front wing. Or we could go front wing main plane for the downforce. But we want to go for the rear wing here. And that will move us ahead slightly. A minor one. Just balance the car out. And obviously that should take us just back above Haas. Alright, so thank you for tuning in here to this one. We'll be back in Mexico. 3 to go for this season. We're excited to bring it to you. Like, subscribe, comment, and subscribe. I think I just said that. And here on Casual Game Rods, we'll speak to you next time. Good night.